Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Just out enjoying the sunrise. Just doing a little thinking and contemplating and all of that stuff. And I thought I would share some of that with you. I had an interesting thought yesterday about the goddess and the energy between Samhain and Yule. So when we talk about it, we talk about how the god dies on Yule, and then the goddess has to spend that time by herself from Yule to Samhain, from Samhain to Yule, and that she is alone and she's sad, but at the same time she's happy because she's ripe with child and she's gonna have a baby soon. It's cold. Hold on. And so she's in this like mixed emotions place. But it was funny. Yesterday, as I was driving, I was thinking about not having my kids in the car um, and being without your children and being without your husband, and that moment, those moments that you have between, like, so if you don't have kids and you're not married and all of that stuff, it's not, you don't understand the loss that the goddess suffers. But at the same time, this is like the brief moment in the year when she has to be alone, when she has to be just the goddess. She doesn't have to be a wife, she doesn't have to be a mother, she doesn't have to be anything else, just the goddess. And she focuses on herself. And that's why introspection is done during that time. And why and why that makes so much sense. But it's not just the goddess that's there, the god also. This is his time when he doesn't have physical form. He's not a child and he's not an adult and he's not an inert caregiver. He's just that energy. And so in that time from Samhain to Yule, the divine are in this state of, I don't know, they're like in this solo state where they get to focus on themselves, they get to be themselves, they get to just do things for themselves without having to worry about being that caretaker or nurturer or guardian or leader or whatever. They just get to be. And that's just such a beautiful thing to think about. And it really encourages that introspection because you have the opportunity to also think about yourself and think about who you are. And so it's not just that they're suffering from loss or sadness from death or the transition and all of that stuff, but this is actually a time when they really get to honor themselves and be true to themselves for who they are. We've been talking a lot about death in my household lately just because of COVID, and we've got several great grandparents that are in the hospital right now, not because of COVID, just because they're over 90 years old. And we were talking last night about how sad they are being 90 years old and how frustrating that must be to be at that point in life and not be able to be you and be there for you, and that it's time to make that transition. And there was so much sadness in the conversation, but we had to stop and be like, look, this is just a part of the cycle of life. Like, it doesn't have to be a sad thing. It can be a new thing. And then of course my oldest, she's like, well, when I die, I'm going to be reborn as a worm. It was really funny. And then my youngest decided to take it to this crazy place, and she's like, yeah, and after being a worm, you get stepped on by a lion, and the lion turns you back into a person. It was very cute. But but it was just one of those things that, you're talking about those transitions, and they don't have to be scary. When we talk about the goddess losing her husband and the transition that she's making and the god dying and all of that happening, we often associate that with sadness and like, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's not what it is. That's not how the gods see it. The gods don't see it as that sadness. The gods see it as just a transition, just as a new state of being and a new chance, as something different. And so when we think about that on a yearly basis and not like on a life scale, as we think about that at each year, this gives you the opportunity each year to focus on yourself, to be reborn into this new being, and to be that person that you're trying to be, and have that change and let go of the past and let go of the things that are holding you back and allow that transition to happen and enjoy that transition. Enjoy who you are through that transition. You're a new, unique person. So if you went through the whole transition with us, the introspective journey, and you've been working through this transition, now that we're on the other side of that, you have to begin to think of yourself as this reborn person. And who is it that you want to be? You have every opportunity, and anything can happen. And so that's where you need to go next, is you take those lessons that you learned, you take that time that you had to focus on yourself, and who do you want to be reborn as? And just kind of let those transitions happen and honor that. So I guess really overall what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter where you are in the transition. Value that, honor that, see what's important about that. Look at it from a positive perspective. The goddess might lose her husband, and yeah, she gets a son, but she also gets to spend this time just being herself. And that's a moment to honor. And so now, as the god is reborn, he's rising. I love reading the sun in the morning now that we're back to the sun's energy. But it's new and it's fresh and it's invigorating and it's motivating to do something fresh and brand new. So let that transition happen, honor those feelings, and enjoy them. And don't get caught up in the sadness. Try to see things from a different perspective. Try to see things from the god's perspective, from a worm's perspective. It doesn't matter. Just try to see it from a different perspective and see how grand things can be no matter what. So now that I'm absolutely freezing, I don't know if you could tell, but my nose is cold. I toast to you and all you do, and I hope that you have a fantastic day and that you're enjoying winter. Many blessings. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and all of that stuff. Let me know what you think. What do you think about the transition? What do you think about the goddess and the god and all of these different things that we've been going through? And tell me about your Yule, whatever it was. I hope that you had a great day and a great weekend. Oh wait, yeah, it's Sunday, so many blessings to all of you, and I hope you have a great day.